Hi there, gorgeous, and a very happy Frugal Friday to you. If you are new to the channel, welcome. I make videos like this every Friday focusing on drugstore products, so please subscribe and you'll always be notified of new videos in the future. I also make videos on Mondays and Wednesdays, and by the way, if you're interested in what I'm wearing on my eyes today, this was included in a video that was filmed earlier this week. Look for the new makeup from Wet n Wild video. I'll have it linked for you below if you happen to miss it, but all the details for what I did on my eyes will be in that video for you. Today, I am sharing a look, actually a couple looks with you, using e.l.f.'s Rose Gold Sunset palette. A lot of beautiful warm tones in this palette. The pigmentation is excellent, the quality is superb. First, I'll show you an up-close application with a chatty tutorial to go along with it, and then I've also included a second look with this palette at the end of the video. This is a true get ready with me. I'm gonna be very chatty in today's video. I actually have my teeth whitening trays in right now, so if I'm talking a little funny, that's why. I'm gonna take a little bit of a departure from what I would normally do. Normally, I would just go for all of the warm shades right here and call it a day. Don't worry though, I am going to do a really warm look with it, and I'll include that at the end of the video if you'd like something more along those lines. So the first shade I am taking from this palette is the really light rosy pink at the top. And I'm applying that into the crease. Very pigmented. I have the smallest amount on my brush. So it's really nice to see that so far they are translating well from the swatches I did on my arm to the lid here. Now I'm sure I'll get asked some questions about my whitening routine, so I'll share that here with you real quick as part of this very chatty tutorial. I always recommend trays from personal experience. I've used so many products in the past that didn't use trays, and I don't feel like the results were anywhere near as good as when you do use trays. So it's very important to get custom trays made, and you can get them made for relatively inexpensive. Blending out the edges of that rosy color in the crease there. There are a lot of online companies who do it fairly cheaply. That was how I did it several years ago. And I know there are also dentist office now that offer it for like $99. Sometimes they'll run specials. Next shade I'm taking is another rosy neutral down here at the bottom of the palette. And I'm using that to deepen the outer crease here. And then once you get your custom trays made, you can use any whitening gel you want, which is what the beauty of getting those trays made is. Now everyone's teeth are different, obviously, and what works for one person in terms of a whitening gel may not work for another. So I'll just share with you which one I'm using, which one I've had success with. I was using one from a company several years ago, and I was using them for the longest time. They ended up going out of business, which I was super bummed about because it was the only whitening gel I had found that really worked well for me. So I went out on a limb recently and went to Amazon, ordered one from Philips brand, and it's their Zoom 22% or something like that. I don't remember the exact name of it. I'll have it linked for you below if you're interested in it. And it is wow. I mean, it works really well on me. It doesn't leave my teeth feeling too sensitive, and it doesn't hurt, which is what I'm really starting to love the most about this stuff. But it does a beautiful job of whitening my teeth at the same time. So I'm really pleased with it, and I'm happy I found it. It was very highly rated on Amazon, which is why I chose to go with it. And I would recommend paying attention to the reviews on a lot of these whitening gels too, because that will tell you everything that you need to know. My dentist recommends the Opalescence brand, which I didn't have much success with. To me, it wasn't that good, but I know a lot of people who have really loved it and it's worked well for them. So to each their own. Right now I am going to go in with the darkest shade in the palette, this one at the very, very bottom here. And I'm going to apply that to the outer third. I'm simply depositing the color a little bit right now to begin with. And then I'm going to go back with a more focused brush here. This is the Sigma E25. And I'll use that to blend it into the outer crease and soften the edges. And when I whiten my teeth, I do it once a month for maintenance purposes, but I mean, it's really up to you how often you want to do it. And I'm always careful too to use a straw when I'm drinking things that can stain my teeth. That does help to prolong the whitening effects. Final eyeshadow I'm going to use to complete this look is this one up here. This is such a pretty shade. I really wanted to use it in a look. Now it's very pigmented on its own, I will give it that, but I want it to be striking on the eyes. So I'm going to wet it down. I'm using the e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set. It's working, it's working. It's a really pretty combination. These colors remind me so much of Urban Decay's Naked 3, don't they? They're very similar. I'd almost have to wonder if there were some dupes in this palette for Naked 3. You know what's interesting too is that inner color right there turned kind of pink because I paired it up with the other pinky tones. And it's actually more of a tan neutral. It's really pretty though. I like how all of that came together. I have completed my eyes and applied a base to my face. If you're wondering what I used for the lashes, these are the Ardell 230s. This is my first time wearing them. I really do like them. And for the lower lash line there, I applied a brown eyeliner on the waterline and I mixed together the deep brown from the palette and this rosy neutral on that lower lash line, so it is rather smoky. For the face, I want to complete this look using the e.l.f. Total Face palette, one of my favorites. I haven't used it in a while, I'm surprised. Using that on the face. The brush I'm using here, by the way, is the Sedona Lace 850. It's one of my favorites. Now my foundation today is the LA Colors Truly Matte. It's one I've already tested, didn't like. I am retesting it to see if my thoughts have changed on it. So far I don't like it. So if you think it looks kind of ugh, I agree. For my blush, I'm going to use this shade. So pretty with these eyes. Ugh, such a light, pretty peach on the skin. And to top it all off, I am going to, for the lips, I'm using an old favorite from e.l.f. This is the Runway Ready Lip Palette. I'm going to use, no surprise, that beautiful nude at the top. e.l.f. is the only brand, yeah, out of my entire makeup collection where I have an entire drawer devoted specifically to their makeup. So when I am creating videos specifically around e.l.f., I just go into that drawer and I pick out what I want to wear. But because I put them all together in that one drawer, sometimes I forget about some of my favorites in there. Maybe it's not a good idea after all. As promised, the second look that I created with this palette uses the richer copper red tones from the palette. Really easy to duplicate and is just, I'm just speechless. It's so pretty. To recreate this look, I took the copper shade, applied it on the inner half of the lid, the cranberry shade applied to the outer half of the lid, the tan in the crease, and that warmer brown at the end of the palette applied into the outer V. Overall, I feel like this is an excellent palette for the price point. The color payoff is superb. Pigmentation is right there. Quality is excellent all the way around. And if the warm tones are calling your name, you will love this palette. Let me know if you've tried it out yourself or what you thought about it based off of today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. We have a family weekend planned, a family vacation, little 5-day trip that we are taking. So by the time you're watching this, we'll probably already be on the road and enjoying ourselves. We're going down south for some fun on the beach and yeah, so I hope that you have a wonderful weekend too, whatever your plans may be. Even if you're spending it at home, hey, watch a movie for me and enjoy just relaxing because I don't think I'm going to be doing much, honestly. Girl, I am getting to the point where I'm not wanting to leave the house For those who don't know, I am 8 months pregnant at this point, and it's I can't wait till she's here, just put it that way. Anyway, have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you again next week.